The first preference count is the first step in counting votes in a preferential election, and it is the first count conducted on election night. You may be doing multiple first preference counts, so it is important to keep each count separate. To start, the count supervisor will unseal the ballot box and record the seal number with a witness. It is best to use a scrutineer as a witness for this. Once the ballot box has been opened, empty all ballot papers onto the table. Check the ballot box thoroughly by taking it apart to ensure all ballot papers have been removed. First, unfold and stack the ballot papers into piles. Everyone in your count team will do this together at the start. Do not do any sorting at this stage, just unfold the ballot papers and put them into piles. Once there are several large piles of ballot papers, 1 or 2 people can start the sorting process. Your table supervisor will advise who will do this and when. The sorting should be done in a separate area to the unfolding, either on a separate but nearby table or at the other end of the same table. To set up the sorting table, lay out the sorting cards, these are cards with the names of each candidate, on the table in the same order as the ballot paper. The informal sorting card should sit at the end. Once the sorting table is ready, take one of the unfolded piles of ballot papers to sort. Each ballot paper must be placed under the sorting card for the candidate who received the voters number 1 or first preference. We are only looking for the voters number 1 during a first preference count. You should sort the ballot papers in a way that is clearly visible to scrutineers and at a pace they can follow without going too slow. Before you place any ballot paper to a candidate, check the ballot paper is formal. This means there is a number in every square, the numbers are sequential starting from the voter's first choice, and there is a clearly indicated first choice. A number 1, a tick or a cross are all acceptable indicators of a voter's first choice. Ballot papers that are blank, do not have a number against every square, have repeated numbers or skipped numbers, or have multiple ticks or crosses, are informal and are placed in the informal pile. Any ballot paper that you are not sure about should also go in the informal pile. The informal pile is checked regularly by the table supervisor. A scrutineer can object to the formality of any ballot paper or the placement of a ballot paper. When a scrutineer raises an objection, write the word "challenge" on the back of the ballot paper with the date and place it in the informal pile. It is important that scrutineers do not touch ballot papers in any way, photograph or film any part of the count, or delay or interfere with the count. Continue to sort by number 1s until all ballot papers have been sorted to a candidate or placed in the informal pile. Once advised by the table supervisor, you can start to count the ballot papers. Be very careful to keep ballot papers for each candidate separate. As you count, double check that the ballot papers have been sorted correctly by checking there is a number 1 in the square for the candidate you are counting. If you find an error, place the ballot paper on the correct candidate. Ballot papers should be counted into bundles of 50, secured with a rubber band. For the last bundle of less than 50, write the number of ballot papers on a post-it note. Put the post-it note on the top of the bundle and secure with a rubber band that holds the post-it note in place. Once all ballot papers for a candidate have been counted, write the total number on that candidate's sorting card. Do the same for all candidates and the informal votes. The table supervisor will then write these totals down on a result slip. Once the result slip is complete, scrutineers are permitted to take a photo of it with their phone and then send it to their candidate or party. The results should then be phoned in or handed in to be recorded and published by the NT Electoral Commission. To package, place the ballot papers for each candidate inside the sorting card for that candidate and bundle with a rubber band. If the pile is too large, place the sorting card on top. Ballot papers for each candidate and the informal votes must go into separate bags. Once all ballot papers have been packaged, do not seal them and await further instructions from your table supervisor.